What is up, guys? Chronic back at it again. Once again, we got another amazing video, and today I'm going to convince you not to summon on the Destina drop rate up banner. Now, she's a 5-star, and I actually do have a pretty big problem with her, and I think a lot of the other people in this community do too. But I'm going to go ahead and address in this video. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. But apart from that, let's go ahead and get right into the problem I have with Destina. So, her S2 and S3 are the problem, and it's really simple. It's a really simple problem that they can fix, in my opinion, if they were to give her a developer's buff, but let's go ahead and talk about it. So, her last skill is a cleanse and a heal. So, a cleanse heals and give you a 15% combat readiness boost to your entire team. The problem is, it's on a 6-turn cooldown, and if you put in the 3 Molagoras, it goes down to a 5-turn cooldown, which is still extremely high. And this means if you're in PvP, you get to use this once. No one's going to go 7 turns in PvP. It's just not going to happen. You're lucky if it's freaking 5 turns, honestly. But also, in any PvE content, let's say Golem or maybe even Wyvern. I don't even know why you would use it for Wyvern. Or maybe even Abyss Floors or maybe the Raids. The cooldown is too high. It's more of a death sentence after you use it the first time, because you're not going to be able to go that second time with that skill before you either lose a character or your entire team dies. Unless you're running a secondary healer like maybe Mascot Hazel or something, but at that point, you'd invest into Destina and another character extremely high to make them viable. And that's just horrible. You don't want to have to do that, guys. And going over to your second skill, it is a 3-turn cooldown on a single target heal that gives you 30% combat readiness. If it was an AoE, it'd be another story. And also, if it does want to be a single target heal, it should be knocked down to 2 turns. But no, it's at 3 and you can't affect it. Now, the Ctr Boosts, hey, you got that. You got that one thing with Destina, but apart from that, extremely high cooldowns end up being very detrimental to a team. And there's characters that can do her job much better than she can, and there are 4 stars, maybe even 3 stars, because one of them has a spec change coming soon. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about them. So, let's move away from Destina and talk about the other 2 healers. In my opinion, they're much better than her, and I feel like you should try to pull for and invest into way more than Destina. So, Angelica and Ctrs are the subject matter here, and I'll tell you guys why. Alright, so, Angelica. Her first skill is a 20% chance to stun. You can increase that by 5 and have it at 25% chance. No one cares about that. It's her second skill and first skill. Second skill is a 2-turn heal that heals not only one character that you choose, but also the next one at the lowest health. So it's a possible 2-character heal for 2 turns. So every 2 turns you can do this, and yeah, you can't change it, but it's already 2 turns, so that's amazing. Every other turn she gets it. If you run it with Candle, possibly, it's very fast cooldowns for her second skill, and almost a turn each for using this, if Candle procs enough. And her third skill is Guide of the Goddess, and this is where the change between a character being good and bad is with Destina. This is at a 5-turn cooldown from the start, and it can be knocked down to a 4-turn cooldown for 2 turns immunity, a barrier, and a heal. Now, I hope I don't have to explain why this is much better than Destina's skill, even though it's a cleanse. You don't get immunity for 2 turns, and you don't get a barrier. Plus, it heals about the same, honestly. And if you soul burn it, it's for 4 turns you get immunity and a barrier. Plus, it's on an extremely low cooldown compared to her ultimate, so there's more likely a chance for you to use this twice than Destina's S3 twice. And honestly, that's what changes my opinion on why Destina would be bad. She's bad because Angelica can do the job much better, and she's more viable anyway. So that's one of the problems I have with Destina, but hey, if you want to pull for it, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. Maybe you don't have Angelica and her KTs and you don't think you're going to get them and you want a 5-star healer, go for it. But I'm just saying, if you would get Angelica and or KTs, it'd just be a much better character overall. Plus, you have an easier chance of getting them being that they're 4 stars. But let's go over to Achates. So Achates. Now, this is kind of where I say she is a mini Destina in a way because of her second and third skill, kind of. But let's go ahead and talk about it. Her first skill is a attack decrease, which you don't really care about too much unless you need that. But her last skill, it is a cleanse and AoE heal on 4 turns, and it can be knocked down to 3 turns. Already much better than Destina, and possibly even much better than Angelica if you don't care about the immunity and a barrier. Plus, the heal is based off of max HP, so if you have a really high HP, it's a big heal. That's all it is to it. If you soul burn, increase the amount you heal. So, obviously, a much better version of Destina on lower cooldowns. Just lose out on combat readiness, but I'll get to that in a minute. Also, her second skill, Rapid Cure. This will heal one ally, but it will also grant them immunity, or invincibility, I should say. Invincibility makes it to where they will not take damage. So, let's say you have a character that you see won't get a turn for a while, and the enemy's about to go and they're already at low health. Use your second skill on that character, you stop them from dying if they were to get attacked. Really good. Plus, I've seen really fast builds for Achates before, where she's fast enough to constantly pop her second and third skill. So it ends up being a very hard character to deal with. Plus, in PvP, you can maybe save a character if you have a bait character on your team. So, invest into her. If you want a build for her, I have straight HP. It's just nothing but HP sets to get the best heal possible. And I have Magahara's Tomb, Magahara's Tomb. That way she can boost her own CR by using one of her healing skills, which, in my opinion, kind of takes the place of Destina, honestly. So, in a way, you kind of do get the CR boost, but you have to invest into a relic for it to happen. But it's a slower cooldown for her skills, and it does the exact same thing as Destina's apart from the CR boost. And those are my two characters that I feel that are much better than Destina, and you should invest your time and gear into, and possibly even summons into, because they're 4 stars. They're more likely to pull them than a 5-star, even with the rate up banner. So, going down to my last character I'm going to talk about, Mont Morisa. So, this character, I'm probably not going to invest into her too much, but she is going to be getting a spec change. What it's going to be getting, I don't know. I don't know what skills might change. Maybe if you guys know that information, leave it in the comment section below. But this character, with her spec change, I'm hoping that they change this to an AoE, because she can grant immunity to one character and heal them. The problem is, I don't want to have to soul burn for a AoE immunity and heal. So this is a thing. If she gets a spec change, her ult most likely will be turned into an AoE heal and immunity. So she might be another Angelica. And her second skill will most likely be a AoE dispel. You never know. But I'm hoping that it changes to that. And if the case, it does end up being those things, she will replace Destina. I guarantee she will. She's a 3-star. You'll probably pull her more than you probably pull Aether. And honestly, I get an Aether every other summon, at least for me. But yeah, this character, I'm hoping her spec change will be good. And if it is, she might actually replace Destina. And I'll keep you guys up to date once that spec change ends up happening. But yeah, I think that'll be about it. I just wanted to talk about Destina and why you shouldn't pull for a banner. I'm not going to say it's a waste, but there are characters that can do her job much better on lower cooldowns. So I'm not saying it's a waste. It's just, it's going to take a lot of investment to try to build a 5-star with extremely high cooldown, and you don't want to end up having her on a speed set. The reason being, if you do have her on a speed set, her heals are going to be less, unless you get some kind of god roll for HP stats on substats and main stats for items. Or you can put her on a counter set where it takes a lot of investment to make already, because Banshee is not the easiest to deal with, I should say. And I think Banshee gives counter. It's one of it's either A or Banshee. It's one of them. But anyway, yeah, counter sets, they're extremely high investment. So if you do have the gear to do it, hey, do it. If you don't, build her with straight up HP and call it a day. At least that's how I would do it, because I'll turn into an HP tank, where she would probably survive. At least she'll be the only one surviving. But yeah, it's just Angelica, KT's, and possibly even Marisa. Put her on the back burner for now till her spec change comes out. But KT's and Angelica are much better than Destina, and they're much more of an investment in my opinion. Invested in them, not Destina. Skip this banner and save your summons for something that it's way more useful. With that being said, I'll go ahead and end the video. If you guys did enjoy the video or agree with on a lot of topics, leave it in the comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe. If you did not agree and you have something you want to say, leave it in the comment section below. I hate English. If you guys do not agree with anything I would have to say in this video or have different opinions, leave it in the comment section below. If you guys do agree, leave it in the comment section below still. With that being said, I'm going to end the video because I'm going to go ahead and try to form out more stuff, and I'm extremely tired, so I'll see you guys next time. It's been Chronic, and I am out.